Good morning. I do not know why, but I just keep thinking it's Thursday. I think what happened was I have a speaking gig that was scheduled for Thursday, got moved to today. And so everything is oriented around that.
Speaking engagement, right?
It was very tough getting up this morning and going, it's Wednesday. It's my day. I got to go.
It is Wednesday, and it is a Get on the Ball live day, which is why it's such a great day to be on a Wednesday. So got lots of stuff going on today. Excited for that call this afternoon. Got some great coaching calls lined up today, but great stuff and a great day yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday was tremendous. One of the diehard huddlers joined the coaching ranks. So on the left there, you'll see Kitty McGowan. Kitty said, "Hey, I am running for this commission seat, and from all of the things I've learned in the huddle, I think I want to be coached so I can win this thing." And I was like, "Let's go, man." So she met with the team yesterday, including Mr. Howie Craw, who spent the day with us. So we worked with Howie, then we worked as a team with Kitty, and then at night we were with Scott Hyman, who flew in with his business partner from Chicago, and just spent the late afternoon and early evening at Capitol Grill. Just an amazing day. It's just so good, so great to be around great people. It's inspiring. Iron sharpens iron. So the quality of the people we get to work with just make it fun and make it better.
That is correct. I think anytime you get into a coaching engagement, and I was talking about this in one of my leadership presentations last week, where I put up a slide that had a picture of Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, Phil Jackson and Michael Jordan, and Phil Jackson and Kobe Bryant. And I was like, are any of those coaches not good because they don't have Michael Jordan? Or if they're not with one of those elite athletes, does that make them any less good of a coach? No. But when you get somebody like that and you have a coach that is committed to that level of excellence, and you have somebody that's either on the field or on the court that's willing to perform and hold everybody else accountable to that level of excellence, that's when you find the real magic of dynasties.
So it's on the field, on the court, or
on the ball, baby. Let's get to some.
So for those who don't know, obviously there's a bunch of changes going on. Mark is going crazy as a regular GM would do. He's making moves, putting this thing together, sent out a great group message yesterday, got everybody fired up. Everybody's into the group. It's really cool. But we've made changes to get on the ball training. So the video library that used to be $1,200 has now been packaged in a full game plan. And shout out to Laura Kuznitsky, because she's the first one to get in on the full game plan. She spent $500 and got all 4 videos.
That's awesome. Congrats, Laura.
So
awesome.
For those that want a video backup on reminding mindset, time management, modern business, and then learn LinkedIn like a pro, you got it all there for $500. So congratulations to you. Welcome aboard. She's also part of our Get on the Ball live call. So, piecing together these opportunities, investing in yourself, ROI, ROR, they all work. Any other comments before we wake this mother up?
No, let's go. Let's get this some wake up music. And then I love that it's a Give Me 5 Wednesday. So I'm pumped.
So I got 3 topics where there's a high five coming your way.
Help, yeah. Wake up, everybody. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Wake up. Come on. Come on, wake up, everybody. Teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen what you have to say. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in there. No more about the thinking, time of thinking ahead. Come on now.
So wouldn't you know, it would be Jen Lederer who comes in with a funny, which is actually really funny. But the reality is, you can say whatever time it is. You can set your clock to say it's 3 p.m. when it's 8 a.m. It doesn't matter.
I love it. And I love that. I think she's pretty sure she's in Greece right now, coming to us from Greece. So way to be on the ball, Jen, and in here. We got the whole squad in here. Saw Howie is here this morning. And I do want to touch on, number one, he put out a post last night announcing his joining of the squad. It's already got great traction on social. And I was going through the comments of what people were saying. And it tends to be like people think like you might have to like shave your head in order to join on the ball. I want everybody to know that like it's not required, right? Even though the majority of the males on our staff right now have a bald head, with you, with Gino, with Howie, Jake and I are going to hold the hair crew down.
And Shay. So listen, we're sitting there yesterday in the coffee shop. And when Shay took the picture of us, or we had somebody take a picture of us, I wanted to start the comment, 3 bald guys and a lady walk into a coffee bar. He shut me down, man. He was like, nah, we're going to go serious.
So we're going to hold the hair down. Don't worry about it.
Hold the hair down. Okay, before we get into you know what happens when you put 2 bald guys together, though? You get an ass. Right. Okay, so before we get into 3 topics where I'm going to give you 5 sentences or 5 thoughts, today is a Give Me 5 day. This phenomenon is happening in the LinkedIn universe, and I want to bring it to light. Shay, play me the things that make you go,
Things that make you go,
Things that make you go.
things that make you go,
So I don't believe this is reality, but I did the research. Shay did the research with me. What the fuck, man? Seriously? Buying LinkedIn followers and buying likes. Please give me your comment, please.
So I'm going to give you the origin of this. It started way back when people were trying to hack the algorithm and they were getting into pods. And it was a group of people that, as soon as you posted something, would like your post in order to try to push the engagement faster and further early on. Obviously, everything's changed and they figure out what people are trying to do. But so this is the evolution of that, is people think that success means likes, success means views, success means followers. Those, in my opinion, likes, views, and followers are worthless if you don't know what to do with them, or they don't have any value behind them. Like in my post this morning, I was talking about having coffee with Mimi, and I was like, it's about OQP. My LinkedIn community is OQP. It is only quality people. And there's Emery. Shout out to you yesterday. Thank you, sir, for a wonderful, absolutely great coffee and just great conversation. And that to me is who my world is built with. So my likes are coming from OQPs because that's who I've built my engagement with. That's who I've built my network with, as opposed to purchasing, whether they be fake accounts, whether they be people that are just there to engage. It's not realistic, and I don't understand the purpose behind it.
So, I mean, I did the research. I'm looking at this. So the question is it a good idea to buy LinkedIn connections? It's right in the article. Absolutely not. If you want to get more LinkedIn connections, there are plenty of smart, highly engaging, highly meaningful, highly impactful, and intelligent ways to do that, which means that is not an intelligent way to build your business.
What the hell's going on out here?
Right. So the research is there are companies that sell this shit and they get real money for like $30 for a like or something.
So this is the problem with the marketing metrics today. And like, I don't know who in the audience right now is a marketing person, but most marketing metrics are vanity metrics. Like you and I had a conversation about performance marketing this morning. I think social media pushed everybody's minds to the measure for success on whether or not your marketing is working is through likes, is through comments, is through views. And it's really not, right? Because if there's no intent behind any of those likes or any of those comments, then they're empty likes. So
gotta love Laura.
Right. It's called doing the work. Right. And like that to me is, so if you're going to measure your marketing, there's got to be some kind of metric or some kind of information that tells you what's the intent behind what's happening with the activity. Because if you can't measure that, you can't measure anything.
I mean, having tons of likes and tons of followers and people who do not engage with you, I don't really get it. I just, like seriously, having strangers in your house, what value does that bring to you? I just, there's Scott Hyman in the huddle this morning. I
think because people's brains, and look, like this happens to a lot of my coaching clients who like, they get in the habit of posting and then they're like, oh, but my views are going down, or I didn't get as many likes on this one as I did that one. And I'm like, you're looking at the wrong thing. Like, let me ask you this. If you didn't post a piece of content, how many people would see your name or hear from you that day? As many people as you reached out to, right? As many people as you had to go manually have a conversation with. If one person saw your post, that's one more person that saw you today than wouldn't have if you didn't post it. So that's the name of the game is, are you getting one? Because if it's one, then you're winning.
So I love this topic. Sum it up and give people, this is the real stickiness. Because when I was doing all this, people said, well, how can we measure it? How do we measure it, Mark Nudelberg?
Connections to conversations. Pretty simple.
Unbelievable. I love it. Connections to conversation. Look who's in the house. Central Bark in the house, man.
Good to see you, Chris. We actually got Lou cut there a few weeks ago. So appreciate the referral from Sherry. And Chris, I hope I get to see you soon. Maybe we'll get over to Sith.
Look at Scott. He's ready to pimp out his legs, right?
Right.
So this is a genuine and
really
authentic platform. Please, please, please take our notes. We're going to talk about some unbelievable motivational music that confirms this. And here's what I said. If you show up somewhere and you're on fire, people will notice. Give me Blue Oyster Cult. So really good for Randy Ostro because you can't listen to Blue Oyster Cult
without thinking about more cowbell. Correct.
I don't know. That's also, so here's the point though. If you're burning for someone else, if you do your LinkedIn to share your value, what you know, who you know, all of that stuff, why you do what you do, that's where the gold is. It's not in self. It's not in, oh, look at this. I got all of these likes. And most of the people I know that have, 10,000 or more followers or, connections, they do shit with it. So, all right, we're on to another topic. We have 8 minutes. We won't get to all 3 top 5s. So it's okay to be distracted. So,
It's unbelievable. I got the insurance adjuster knocking on like every window of the house right now. I'm like, I think Gabby's feeding Jules right now. So I'm like, I'm catching out of the corner of my eye. Like, I don't know what's happening right here. It's unreal. It's unreal. That's just overcome.
So I have 3 5s. We're not going to get to them all. Pick one. We'll do 2 tomorrow because, I think so. Whichever one you want to do.
The Serena one was great. I mean, I
so
thought
let's
that
do
was really
Serena.
awesome.
We'll do the other ones tomorrow. So Serena is retiring. I think the event that's coming up that starts this weekend is her last shot, correct?
Correct.
So here are 5 lessons in mental toughness from Serena Williams.
First one's a doozy.
The first one sums it all up. Practice like a pro. What does that mean to you?
So I wanted to write about this morning because it was, I think it's about living in practice. And for her, when she talks about practicing like a pro, every performer and every professional spends time in preparation, right? Preparing on whether they're studying their notes, preparing on practicing the techniques. So for me, when you look at somebody that's a athlete, you say, okay, well, they're practicing for Serena. She's practicing her forehand. She's practicing her backhand. She's practicing her shots. When I think about what that means for somebody in the business world as a leader or as a professional, to me, that's your communication skills. How are you practicing your communication skills every day? How are you practicing with the new tools? How are you involving new tactics? How are you practicing your game and polishing your skills? Because if you're not practicing, then you're using all of your presentation time or all of your performance time as practice.
I love it. This idea that salespeople really don't practice. Salespeople show up and throw up. Business people show up and throw up.
It's nobody practices.
And Casey, yes, we're talking about practice. Man.
Exactly correct. Like, I mean, I listened to a podcast this morning from Devontae Adams, who's now in Las Vegas. He came from Green Bay, and he said something. They were talking about, wow, you really compete hard in practice. And he goes, oh yeah, I haven't lost a rep yet this camp. And they were like laughing. And he was like, no, I'm serious. He's like, I haven't lost a single rep yet in camp. He goes, I don't plan to lose one either. He goes, I don't care what down it is. I don't care whether we're practicing or whether we're playing for a Super Bowl. If you're lined up against me, it's my goal to win. I don't care what that looks like. I'm going to win. And so you think about a guy who just got paid $150 million to be a receiver. He didn't get paid $150 million because he was the most talented. It was because he brought that work ethic of, I'm going to win time and time again. And if you listen to, one of the other greats to do it was Deion Sanders. That was Deion's mentality. Deion was like, if you're going to line up against me, I don't care if we're in a walkthrough. You're not winning. It's my opportunity to practice my craft and get great at what I do. I'm going to do it to the best of my ability.
I mean, yesterday, 8/24, we celebrated Kobe, hanging out with Howie. Howie's good friend, Alan Stein, who is a speaker, makes a living out of he went to a camp when he was a kid. Kobe was there. Kobe talked about the 4 a.m. getting in. But what did he do in the gym? 100 of these, 100 of these, 100 of that, 100. You know what? When it's game time, it's instinct. You don't even think about. So when we talk about, and I did this with a client yesterday, there comes a time when you just trust that you did the work and the outcome changes because you did the work.
Well, that to me
is not show up on game day and win. It doesn't happen.
Living the practice, right? That is, if every day you are preparing for that moment, and that's the misnomer, is that there are people who just show up and are great on game day. That doesn't happen, at least doesn't happen consistently. You'll find one-offs. You'll find guys who score 40 points in a game or have 5 touchdowns. But anybody in any profession ever who consistently finds success, it's because they do that work day in, day out, time after time. And so when they get to that game scenario, they're not thinking about the game scenario. They're like, I've done this 1,000 times. I'm just going to do it exactly the way I did it a day ago.
Yeah, I mean, look at Jen. Jen gets out on stage. I think comedy is the hardest thing ever.
Right.
To physically make people laugh when they go there sitting there like, make me laugh.
Right.
You got to practice, man. You got to know your shit. You got to know how to pivot. You got to know all of those things. So there's 5 of them. That was one. What a doozy. The second one I want to talk about is practice with people that are better than you. Mentors and coaches play a role because they've been there, done that. When I talk to people, I am showing them, you are showing them the roadmap of here's what you can't see yourself. Here's what to practice on. Here's how you get better. Getting better, going to the gym every day is not enough. You got to know what the hell you're doing there.
I'm also going to take it in a little bit different of a view and say that it's who you're practicing against. It's not just about the coach that you have. It's not just about having that person in your corner that can see your blind spots. It's working with that competition. She's talking about practicing against her sister who was a competitor, right? That's somebody who's vying for the same championship. So you got to be willing to, Seth wrote about it this morning in his post. He's like, I could look at Brene, I could look at Simon, and I could be like, oh, poo-poo on them, but I'd rather invite them in. I'd rather say, come on in and let's work together to figure out how great we can be. That's practicing against the best. That's inviting your competition in to say, hey, what do you do? What do I do? And I did that in football all the time. I bring in special teams coordinators from all over the country and say, here's my playbook, show me yours.
Yeah, we talked about this morning, which is crazy. I didn't even know that this is where we would wind
Right.
up. But, I grew up in a time when shut the doors, close the blinds. I'm not letting anybody know what my secret sauce is. Guess what? Your secret sauce is execution, period. All of the other mumbo jumbo theories and buzzwords is all bullshit. Do the work on the field. That's where the game is won. So I love that. I'll be rooting for Serena to win. The other 3, just so that you know, are break down the tape, which is, feedback loop, feedback.
And so here's my thing for everybody in business is you're not recording anything. I mean, maybe some of you are recording the sales videos. That would be great. But if you don't have film to watch, then you have to observe. You got to find time to be a part of to get that visibility or get really great at asking questions in order to get the visibility you need in order to give the right feedback. Because if the feedback isn't quality, you're not going to get the development.
So last 2, forget the past, focus on the present. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think you learn from the past.
Sure.
And then bottle up the anxiety, because the anxiety, if you turn it into fuel, it's rocket fuel. Baby.
I love it. Great stuff.
We got
great 5.
We got 2 more tomorrow, 2 more sets of 5s. One is a Seth and one is a mine. How about that, man?
I love it.
So lots of good stuff. Big day ahead. Go out, make it your best day ever, and put some time in there to practice.
Let's get down to business.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business.